as many of you know, Michael is a huge 49ers fan, a huge Alex Smith supporter, but Colin Kaepernick, man, did he have a game. 17-31.
Yeah, by the way, I'm a huge Colin Kaepernick supporter, too.
You are?
I've never not been. I thought it was a great draft pick. I wanted them to draft him during that draft. I love Colin Kaepernick. I just hate the way his career as a 49er started.
But you said during the season that something was taken, not necessarily away, but
I'm not alone. I'm not alone. People were upset after that happened. Not everybody, but a lot of people were, and I'm among them.
And you still think Alex Smith would have got the 49ers to this place?
Oh, I absolutely think so. He did last year. Why wouldn't he do it this year?
He did do it last year, and he would have had much better receivers.
He would have been in the Super Bowl, and he had better receivers this year, and he was the highest-rated quarterback, or the top 3 highest-rated quarterbacks in the league when he was benched. It has nothing to do with Colin Kaepernick. We love Colin Kaepernick in the Shore home. Yeah. But
Owen loves,
the idea of
Colin
loves Colin Kaepernick, loves Scott Tolzien, the 3rd-string quarterback. But truthfully, it has nothing to do with Kaepernick. It has to do with the fact that they had a winning quarterback in Alex Smith, who, after all that he'd been through, didn't deserve to be benched, Kaepernick or not. And Jim Harbaugh was right. He wanted Kaepernick from the get-go. Loved Colin Kaepernick. We all did. It was a great pick. Traded to get that pick. Beautiful. Alex was doing really well, and he had already been to the NFC Championship game. The only reason he didn't get to the Super Bowl had nothing to do with him, or something to do with him.
So is it that a lot of people with your mentality are like upset with Jim Harbaugh? Are they upset with the kind of the way that he went about it? And it's just like, oh, well, he chose Kaepernick.
I think we were
not necessarily
upset. I don't think it's one of those lingering upsets. You're a sports fan and you move on. Right. I mean, so I'm not upset with him still. I was pissed then. I don't love Jim Harbaugh. I never have. I think he's a really good football coach. You know, there's something sort of Tom Coughlin-y about him. He wins. He's really good, but you don't really say he's not very likable to me anyway. I don't like the way he treats the press. But all that being said, nothing ever against Kaepernick, just really feeling that Alex got jobbed.
Yeah. One thing I didn't know about Colin Kaepernick, he grew up in Milwaukee as a Packers fan. I found that pretty interesting.
And he wrote a letter in 4th grade. Did you see the letter he wrote? Oh, he wrote a letter saying that he wants to play for the Packers or the 49ers.
Really?
Yeah. In like
How did he come up with the 49ers?
4th grade. I don't know. Milwaukee? Probably, who knows? Because, right. And I think at the end, he said, the only thing I don't want to do is I'd rather be an Undertaker than play for the Rams. Oh. Which was weird. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'd rather get beat by the Rams.
Harbaugh was talking about how he has this great mentality about how he bounces back really well from turnovers. We saw it in the first quarter. I mean, he threw a horrible interception to Sam Shields, ran it back for a 52-yard touchdown. He comes back, sets the playoff record for most rushing yards in a game.
The NFL record, but also the playoff record.
An NFL record, excuse me. He passed Michael Vick 17-31, 263 yards. Also had a good game was Michael Crabtree, who had 2 touchdown passes. Very, very good stuff when it was 24-21
Let's not forget also
halftime.
Frank Gore. Frank Gore, 119 rushing yards, a touchdown. The guy is a war horse. I think he's among the, I say this with bias because I'm a fan and everybody thinks that the players on their team.
I mean, like you've come to appreciate how good of a football player Frank Gore is.
That's the thing. I mean, you could, everybody, I think he's among the most underrated stars in the league, and he's a really good football. The underrated stars list, well, I mean, I wasn't prepared for this question, so I'd have to think about it for a second. I mean, in a way, I think Steve Smith is. I think Steve Smith, the
Panthers?
The receiver, is underrated.
You've seen Kaepernick throughout the season now. The Packers gave up 579 total yards. Their defense did, obviously.
Yeah.
It's such a ticky-tack question, but I mean, how do you kind of defend a guy when you have the coverage sack and everyone is covered? And then he just takes off, and he ran.
I know, but it's sort of like that deal when Will Chamberlain had 100 points in the game, and everyone was like, "So what happened on the other bench?" Where it was like, "All right, so who's got Will?"
Yeah,
it's a question of keeping him in the pocket, which no defenses. Well, the Packers' defense didn't do well. It has happened this year. Ironically, the Rams did a good job of it. We were just making fun of the Rams before. Keeping Kaepernick in the pocket is a good way to do that. I don't know if Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator of the Falcons, former coach of the Niners actually, he has had a tough time with his defense doing that with people like Griffin and Wilson. Had more success with Cam Newton at the end of the year. But I think that it's going to be, that's the key to Kaepernick, is keeping him in the pocket. You're going to, listen, he's going to have some runs. There are going to be some things that happen, but keep him in the pocket, you're going to have more success. The Packers seem totally disinterested.
But the thing is, I mean, like, look, we're football fans. We're not huge football X's and O's guys. But I mean, do you spy a linebacker? Do you keep one more linebacker? Just literally, you assigned one guy, depending on the formation, obviously, whether it's the outside, the weak side, the middle. I mean, do you just keep one guy on him the entire time?
You know, I don't know.
That he keeps up with him?
It depends on what you. I don't think you can do that, because then you can't do that every down. Certainly,
right?
I would blitz more. I would also take some of those defensive ends that the Falcons have and move them in and around.